Hi everyone, it's Shannon from the Loophole Fox, and today I'll be showing you how to work the foundation single crochet. In my hands here is a row of foundation single crochet so you can see what your finished product will look like. In this tutorial, I'll be going over how to work the stitch, and I'll also explain the stitch anatomy so you can understand how everything works together. You can use the foundation single crochet in any pattern to replace the chains in first row of single crochet. The foundation single crochet does have a bit more stretch to it than a chain and single crochet row usually would, which can help to keep your edges from curling, especially for big projects like blankets. For this tutorial, you'll need to know how to chain and single crochet. I'll show you everything else. To practice the foundation single crochet, you'll of course need yarn and a corresponding hook. What I'm using for this tutorial is a bulky weight yarn in light blue. To use this yarn, I'm also using my Furls 7mm hook. You can use whichever yarn and corresponding hook you prefer. To get started, create a slip knot and place it on your hook. We're then going to go ahead and chain 2. Here are my 2 chains. We could continue chaining upward, but of course we're going to be working the foundation single crochet instead. So what we want to do is work into the second chain from the hook. When working in this chain, you can work under one strand like this, but I would recommend going under both strands of this chain because it makes your work a little bit neater. With my hook in the chain, you'll see I have what looks like 3 loops on my hook. This is the chain and my working yarn. If I flip it over on the back side, it looks like 2 loops. To begin, we want to make the next chain. To do this, we're going to yarn over and pull a loop through the chain. We now have 2 loops on our hook. This looks like we're going to go ahead and finish a single crochet, but we need to put the chain in first so that we keep moving forward. So we want to go ahead and yarn over and pull through the first loop on the hook. Pulling through this first loop on the hook creates the chain. And you can see the chain here. We still have 2 loops on our hook, and we need to place our single crochet over this chain now. So we're going to yarn over and finish our single crochet like normal by pulling through 2 loops. We now have one finished foundation single crochet. The top of your single crochet is here. This is the side, and down here is the chain. You're going to notice that you're working sideways. If you were to hold it the regular way, it won't work because your arm's going to be all wonky and up top. So don't worry for now, hold your work to the side. It will look like normal crochet later. So now to create the second foundation single crochet, we need to locate the chain. You can see I'm pointing toward it with my hook now, but I want to show you the underside. The chain is this V here. So when you're inserting your hook into that chain, you want to make sure to pick up both strands of the V. It'll look like you have 3 loops on your hook again. We're going to go ahead and yarn over and pull through the chain. We have 2 loops on our hook. So now, of course, we want our work to continue working forward. So we need to create another chain. The loop that's closest to the head of the hook is going to be the chain. So we're going to yarn over and pull through that first loop only. You can see the chain much easier now. It's hanging out right here. We're going to need to put a single crochet on top, so go ahead and yarn over and finish your single crochet like normal. We now have 2 finished foundation single crochets. So here they are. You have your tops of your stitches up here. This is the post of your stitch. And your chains are down here. So it does look like a standard single crochet worked in chains. It's just worked all together at once versus doing a long chain and then single crochets. So to move on to the third foundation single crochet, you can see your post here and your chain down here. It's becoming a lot easier to see the work as you continue going. We're going to locate the chain below. Again, it is the V, and we're going to insert our hook underneath both strands of the V. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. We now have 2 loops on the hook. And I'm going to show you what would happen if you didn't create that chain. So if you went ahead and just yarned over and pulled through 2 to create a single crochet, you'll see that the work is curling now because you don't have the chain to support the single crochets to move forward. So it's very important that you do that first step of creating the chain. So let's start over. We're going to go underneath the chain, which again is the V. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. And we do want to make the chain, so we're going to yarn over and pull through the first loop to create the chain. You can see it right here. And now we want to yarn over and pull through 2 to finish our third foundation single crochet. If you hold it to the side, once again, it looks more like normal crochet work does. I'll go ahead and work through 10 of these with you just to make sure that we really get some practice in together. We want to go ahead and make our 4th. So we're going to find the chain. It's the upside down V here. We're going to insert our hook into the stitch, making sure to go under both strands. I'm struggling because this one's splitting. Okay, we have 3 strands. We're going to yarn over and pull through a loop under that chain. So we now have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through the first loop to make the chain. So now I'm going to continue chaining, and you can see how that foundation chain is continuing to build. It's just building in between the single crochets. So I'm going to start over on this 4th foundation, inserting my hook underneath the chain once more, making sure I'm under both strands. I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the first loop for the chain. There it is. We're going to yarn over and finish our single crochet. And I'll just show you briefly again so you can see. Here's the side. These are the tops, 1, 2, 3, 4, and your chains are at the bottom. You have your posts here as well. So you can see that they stack nicely together. Let's make our 5th foundation single crochet. We're going to find the chain. We're going to go underneath both strands of the chain. So it looks like 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the first one to create the chain. Yarn over and pull through both to finish the single crochet. Let's move on to our next one. Find the chain, insert our hook under both strands, yarn over and pull up a loop. So we have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through the first loop. There's our chain. We now have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through 2. So find your chain. It's this V here. I'm going to insert under the 2 strands, yarn over and pull up a loop, 2 loops on hook, yarn over, pull through the first loop to create the chain, yarn over and pull through 2 to make your single crochet. Okay, again, we're going to find that chain, the upside down V there, insert under both strands of the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1 to create the chain, yarn over, pull through 2 to create the single crochet. A couple more, so find your chain, insert your hook under both strands, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1 to create the chain, yarn over, pull through 2 to finish the single crochet. Okay, find your chain and insert your hook, yarn over and pull through, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the first loop, yarn over and pull through 2 to finish the single crochet. That completes 10 foundation single crochets, and you can see once they're worked, they look just like you've worked into a chain. So you have your chains down here. They're going to be a lot easier to work into if you were to do a border because they look more like stitches. And of course the top of your single crochets here. Here's the back side. So it looks quite similar to the standard single crochet. You can pull it apart to really see the stitches and see how stretchy this foundation is. A lot stretchier than the chains. And on the front side, you can pull it apart and see the stitches as well. Here's your chain, here's your post, and this of course is the top of your stitch that you'll work into. From here, you can reintroduce your hook, chain 1, and you can work across the row with single crochets or whichever stitch you're working with as normal. So now you can see that I'm holding the work as I normally would and just working a row of single crochets across this foundation row. So I'm just doing this because I want you to see that once it's completed, although it seems like more steps than just putting a chain and then going back through and putting a single crochet in each chain, so I want you to see that it is faster to work them all together. You do get a nice stretchy beginning, so that way the edges of your blankets or washcloths or really anything that you make doesn't have a curl to it. You don't have to use a different hook size. It's just a good little skill to know. So here's the foundation single crochets. There are 10 of them with an additional row on top. So you can see how easy it was to work into. The sides are straight. I would recommend, practicing the foundation single crochet a few times, especially before starting a large project, just to make sure you have it down. Practice makes perfect, of course. The first time you do foundation single crochets, they might be a bit wonky, they might be a bit loose, but don't fret, continue practicing, and you'll get them as nice fine look. I'm going to go ahead and keep crocheting now. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you have a wonderful day and happy crocheting.